just remembered the other episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome back to I Love Bananas, our search for You Make Me Look Like a Chiquita Banana.
And our travels through every episode, hopefully not, of I Love Lucy.
Today we watched episodes 6 and 7 of season 1, the audition and the seance. And we'll be discussing those.
The audition, Ricky has a big audition with a TV company for the show, and Lucy gets involved.
Yes. She bugs him that, although like big shows have a pretty girl, a pretty show girl, that could be me. He's like, get out of my face, woman.
Yeah, he's like, I just want you to be my wife. I want you to be my wife. I want you to clean my house. I want you to mother my kids.
Yes. So what ends up happening though is that a clown that is a part of the act, or a part of this audition at least, falls off his bicycle.
Yeah, sometimes with the brakes.
Crashes in rehearsal. Then later, he's resting at Lucy and Ricky's apartment. Lucy comes home scared of this person in her house, but then he's like, oh, I'm the clown. Then he shows her how the bicycle stops working and crashes through the kitchen door.
Oh, right.
And then Lucy is like, yo, this guy is messed up. And he's like, you go on for me. And she's like, well, don't push me too hard.
Time to shine.
Yes.
There's a really great scene where Desi Arnaz plays the bongos for real next. And I don't know, that was part of the episode. I was like, this is lit. And then Lucy.
Babalu. That's like an iconic thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, he plays Babalu. Then he's like, well, I guess we have to end the show early because the clown isn't freaking here. But then who comes up besides Lucy as the clown and totally nails the performance so well that the TV execs offer her a spot in their show or prime time or whatever the deal was. She got it, not Ricky.
And at the end, she's like, no, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to be your wife. I'm going to clean your house. And Ricky, I got good news. And he's like, Lucy, are you for real? And she's like, they insinuate that she's pregnant.
But then she goes, I baked your favorite pie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And he's like, and she's like, yeah.
That's my Lucille Ball. Something she'll never do on the show. That's my Lucille Ball. The second episode was the seance. Lucy gets real into numerology, and they start talking about the zodiac and the this.
Yeah, horoscopes.
Oh, the horoscopes, yeah.
And so Ricky's like, hey, I'm gonna get a haircut today. The barber's gonna call, tell him I'll be there. She's like, well, let me read your horoscope. You're a Gemini.
I did not like it.
Nails on a chalkboard for us. And I had to explain that that's how people said Gemini back in the day, or like with the space program.
No, thank you.
Gemini missions. So she reads the horoscope and it's like, it's a great day. Say yes to everything. Today's your day. And she's like, oh yeah, go get a haircut. And then Ethel reads her horoscope. She's a Leo. And she's like, this horoscope is the same as yesterday. And then she's like, oh, this is yesterday's paper. And Lucy's like, what? And so then they read the real paper of today, and Gemini is like, today is not your day. Don't do anything.
Look out, sis.
So Lucy flips. She's like, I just sent Ricky out into the world with yes on his lips when it should be no. So then she gets a phone call. She's like, hello, is this a barber? Ricky's not coming. He said no. No, Ricky said no. And she's like, wait a second. What's your name? Merriweather? He said no. Bye. Hangs up the phone. And,
very, hello? Hush.
Then Ricky comes back like 2 minutes later and he's like, oh, I forgot I was expecting a phone call from Mr. Merriweather. He's like a producer. And Lucy was like, are you sure that's not the barber's name? Yeah, what's your barber? What's your barber's name? Would your barber have changed his name to Merriweather in recent times? Then Ricky gets very, Lucy,
yeah,
I'm gonna drag you down to Mr. Merriweather's office and you're gonna tell him why you hung up on him.
And they get there, and Mr. Merriweather is trying to use a Ouija board by himself, which is something you should not do. And Lucy and Mr. Merriweather are like together on everything.
Oh my gosh. He asks, do you Ouija? And I think Ricky's like, what, G? And Lucy is like, no, but... So I said no because his horoscope said no. And then Mr. Merriweather's like, a horoscope. He's a very
flamboyant or
Yeah.
exuberant.
yes. So he's like, oh, you're into horoscopes. Get up in this gig. I'm into everything. Like, that's almost
Me too,
word
sir.
for word. And then Lucy is like, me too, sir.
Yeah.
Then he asks, oh, like, if you're into everything, I'm trying to go to a seance. I really, really want to go to a seance. I'm trying to contact Tilly. And Lucy's like, well, we're having a seance tonight. And Ricky is like, we are? We are. So they go home. It flashes forward to that night.
Oh, because when Ethel and Fred come in, it's a little,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, a little, it's the 1950s.
And Ethel is dressed in full, like, fortune teller garb with a turban and some of these,
and pendulum-y, crystal-y moments.
yeah, medallions and things. Has
Yeah.
a fake mole and like winged eyeliner. And Fred comes in wearing
A fez hat that
Yes.
says Tehran on it.
yes, it does say Tehran on it. But Lucy goes like, there's an Shriners convention, and like rips it off of him, which is funny. Lucy's like, Ethel, I'm gonna be Tilly. Whenever you call out to Tilly, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna be behind you on the chair. And then Ricky's like, hey Fred, come here. You're gonna pretend to be Mrs. Merriweather whenever Ethel's doing her thing. And he's like, okay. And Ricky was like, do a woman's voice. And he's like, okay. Ricky's like, great.
Oh, and then he's like, but when you go, you have to pretend you're having a coughing fit and leave the room, but don't overdo it, Fred. And
Oh,
truly, like, a headache. And he's like, not even a breath later, Fred is like, like,
Oh, my head. Ethel, though, is like, your head is fine. Like, and Ricky's like, how dare you, you cruel, icy-hearted woman. Let this man go rest. And so then he goes downstairs, and Ricky's like, I'll stomp my foot whenever you should be Mrs. Merriweather from beyond the grave. So they get the seance started. Everyone closes their eyes and holds hands. Then Lucy sneezes. So that's why she breaks the chain, but then connects Merriweather and Ethel's hands as like her own. She crawls behind Ethel. It begins, and they call out to Tilly. Lucy's like, yes, it's me, Tilly. Lucy gets burned by the fire because she's by a fireplace. She's like, ow! And Tilly, what's wrong? Well, it's really hot. And he went, oh no, Tilly, you're there? Then, I don't know, they have a little exchange.
yeah. And then Mr. Merriweather is like, now that we're done talking to Tilly, I'd like to speak to my deceased wife, Mrs. Merriweather. And they're like, it's Tilly.
Yeah, they don't know who Tilly was. Fred has re-entered the chat at this point, and whenever they called out to Tilly, but Lucy responded, he was like, who the f*** is that?
Yo, Ethel, are you magic?
Yeah. And so now they're going to call out to Mrs. Merriweather. They call out, and Lucy's about to respond, but Fred responds, and Lucy is like, who the hell is that? Ethel, are you magic? And then she goes, hello, darling.
And he's like, you know, that doesn't sound like you.
And shut up, you worm.
It is you.
Their conversation is very short, and then Lucy's like, okay, seance over, everyone unclasp your hands and open your eyes. Oh my gosh, wow, we've been all sitting here the same way we have been the whole time. And Merriweather runs out, and he's like, oh, thank you so much, this was amazing, you're amazing, I'm gonna go. And Ricky's like, I'll walk you out. And so Ethel and Lucy and Fred are like, who was the other voice? They're all sitting there like, what was that? And then Ricky comes back up and he's like, hey, Mr. Merriweather gave me like the deal. And then it's revealed, oh, Fred was the other voice, Lucy was the other voice. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, and then Lucy's like, but I still can't figure out who was Tilly.
And Ricky's like, oh, it was his Cocker Spaniel.
God.
Which, when we were watching, I was like, it's his cat.
Yeah, like it had to be a pet. You knew it was the pet.
Yeah.
Right. No lines.
No lines. No lines. No, wasn't in these episodes.
No.
And I don't know why, after watching 7 episodes now, but really just watching these two, I was like, this might be brave yet controversial. A show like That's So Raven, dare I say, was the I Love Lucy for like us growing up, with the physical comedy and the disguises and the
Fully.
everything.
The situation and the drama and the this person knows this and this person knows this and the
And dare I say Raven was more dramatic?
Raven was incredible. It still is.
Yes. But like thinking of the whole clown bit, I was like, was there That's So
She's
Raven?
the substitute teacher being her own mom. Do I got the booty?
Was there That's So Raven where like this happened? Almost. I feel like almost.
I would like to look into it. I would like to
Turn on Disney Plus.
Series number 2, or just like a full length of us diving in comparison. I Love Lucy to That's So Raven.
There's a lot of.
Smash that like if you think we should do that.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please let us know your favorite I Love Lucy moments or any in this episode. Keep in touch with us on Silly Sickos. Don't tell us if you know the line, but stay tuned for next time.
Until then, be sure to like and subscribe.
You can watch more from this series right over on the next screen.
Yeah, here comes the end screen.